It's week 2 of our Iberian road trip, and this time we walk up high, discover Porto's gold, and drink in the Douro Valley. We pick up from the Picos mountain range before we head across to Leon, the Douro Valley, and the west coast at Porto as we begin to circle round back to the north. We're staying in Porto for a few days, and one of the most celebrated hikes is just 30 miles away. It's uphill all the way to the end of the road at Fuente Day, where a cable car can lift you to majestic views, and if you're in the mood for the start of a circular downhill hike back to the car. Unless you relish a queue, we'd recommend getting to the cable car early. The lines can build pretty quickly once coach parties start to arrive. The weather gods really delivered, serving up sunshine and clear skies for spectacular views up on the snowline before we made our start. Initially, there's roughly a kilometre of gentle climbing to reach the pass across onto the plateau before you start making your way down.
That was close.
The chalet and the hotel up here were still closed ahead of the summer season, but they made for a good tea stop with a nice view.
Oh, nice place to sit and have a cup of tea though.
Yes.
There are a few other hikers up here and one group of bikers taking this trail, where we were well outnumbered by the ponies enjoying the fresh grass and clear meltwaters. And then we screwed up. The steep step path to Fuente Day was missed, and we decided to head down to Espinama. On the plus side, we could enjoy a cold beer, before the downside, a 2-mile walk back uphill to the car. But luckily for us, a lovely Dutch couple picked us up and saved our weary legs.
Local bus with school kids.
All round, a memorable hike for many right reasons. Now, I'd been worried about range for the first time as we entered the mountains. What I'd not counted on is the fact that you gain fuel as you cruise downhill. The journey back to Porto put 3% back in the tank, and Leon the next day would be a run without worry, as we crossed the mountain passes over the southern edge of the Picos before descending onto the plains. The N621 was a glorious, smooth, snaking ribbon of tarmac ascending over the pass. Hardly any other traffic at this time of year other than one small group of bikers enjoying it too.
Oh, more of them on the left, look.
Wow. They like the poles here on
They
the,
do. How the hell do they build those? Just on a pole.
Almost on every single one
Yeah.
of them.
Oh, and then a different bird. Don't know what the hell that was.
Now enter the roundabout and take the first exit.
So 3 days since we charged on the north coast, we cruised to the Leon superchargers on the outskirts with 16% remaining. Overall, for the trip so far, we'd averaged 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. That's not bad at all considering the type of driving. That's mostly motorway driving at 80 miles an hour or 130 kph, nearly all of France was like that, and then through the mountains. I don't think we're going to have any concerns going forward, even if charges are pretty sparse through Portugal. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Leon is a major stop on one of the Camino hike routes, and the pilgrims are clearly happy to be closing in on their goal of Santiago. Leon's a good stop on the way to Portugal, but an afternoon and evening were plenty for us before we moved on to the Douro Valley. It's an undemanding and very quiet slog to the border, making for a pretty dull drive until we fell into the valley itself after 2 refuel stops, first at Benavente and then at Ribeira de Peña. We don't know why, but charging infrastructure is thin on the ground in Portugal. But luckily, hotels and venues have responded with destination chargers at the Quinta and the hotels we've chosen to visit. After more than 3 hours driving, the scenery suddenly changes and you enter the Douro Valley. Again, the Douro hadn't been on our itinerary, much like San Sebastian, but we listened to friends' advice and again loved it despite some inclement weather. You can't go to the Douro and not partake of a port and wine tasting at one of the hundreds of vineyards here. We'd chosen Quinta de Toda, a small organic vineyard run by a Frenchman that's still using traditional methods to this day. After a tour that explained the process, it was time to taste the produce and learn about the differing standards before adding to our growing collection of bottles to take home. And it's not just drinking that satisfied here, there are many fine dining establishments. We'd returned to the Quinta to enjoy a sublime meal in the adjoining restaurant overlooking the river. It's a shorter 2-hour drive across to Porto today, climbing up out of the valley on winding roads, stopping in Amarante before joining the motorway. We were heading to the Bessa Hotel on the outskirts for a few days whilst we explored the city.
Look ahead.
You can actually look ahead and see the nice view.
It's an old bridge.
We'd hummed and hawed about where to stay whilst in Porto. In the end, we decided on the edge of the city. With an Uber costing just €5 to get in or out, this worked well for us.
Now turn right onto Rua Dalda Marques de Cavallo.
We squeezed our way into the Bessa Hotel Boa Vista car park where destination chargers were ready to refuel whilst we explored. And one thing that wasn't expected was that there was no bill for using the chargers at any of the hotels or destinations that we used them. That really was a surprise, but a very welcome one. Porto is a truly wonderful city with culture, history, food and drink at its heart. But do be prepared to wear out your trainers and legs as you walk far and climb its many slopes and steps. We'd say ignore the tourist buses and use the excellent city bus and metro system for just a tenth of the price. You can take the M1 or the number 500 bus out to the beach at the edge of the Atlantic. Be sure to plan in plenty of stops, especially to consume as many pastel de nata as you dare, baked fresh and still warm from the oven before visiting one of the many pork caves. We chose Ramos Pinto, again one of the smaller local producers, and again where we'd stock up. It'd be rude not to, surely. One thing I did not expect was an almost obsessive excellence in retail display. They can take one simple product like sardines and turn it into an art form, and charge willing punters out of their hard-earned with ease. Porto, you were fantastic and I can't wait to be back. If you enjoyed this, then please like and subscribe for the final episode as we head to a favourite holiday destination for the Spanish in Galicia. Watch and admire the pilgrims' achievements in Santiago de Compostela. Tackle a spectacular hike in the Picos, and try to figure out how Asturian cider pouring became a thing. Thank you for watching.